So yeah, what do you think? Do you really think the title has any value and relevance? Because if you look at it though, it's kind of true. If you look at all the Sahabas and all the early Muslims that became the great legends of the Deen, they were all under the age of 40. Only a handful, if that, who were closer to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's age. And even then, they were around 38, 39. From the top of my head, I could give you a few names, one of them being Sayyidina Uthman, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhum ajma'in, who were more or less the similar age of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But apart from them, majority and the rest of the Sahabas, they were essentially teenagers in the early 20s, hardly any above that. So it shows there's a reason, a specific um, barakah and reason why Allah Azza wa Jal, in His infinite wisdom, has chosen the age of 40 to be a time when Nabuwa is also revealed. And also traditionally, in the Arab culture, the age of 40 was when a person became an adult and they started taking someone's advice and someone's suggestions and issues. Because before that, they used to assume everybody else was young and immature in a sense, hasn't fully experienced life. Um, so it just shows if we have a certain habit and we're reaching the age of 40 and it's not changed, unfortunately, there's only one route left, which is whatever habit we had, whether good or bad, it's going to stick with us for the remaining number of years we are on this earth. So that's why it's essential to start practicing early when you're younger, in your early years, teenagers, early 20s, 30s, then that set of patterns will go on with you in your older life as well. As they say, patterns stay and habits grow. Um, so if you then can make that into a habit, then when we're in our late 40s and 50s and onwards, then we'll be also maintaining the same pattern of behavior. Because you got to understand our habits and our attitudes to life also, they grow old with us. So if, for example, you've not been practicing Muslim all your life and you're about 40, 45, 50 almost, then unfortunately, just to be blunt, it's not looking like it'll change anytime soon, because our personality is who we are, and that etches and stays with us in our mind. So that's why you see the most opponents of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was also people who were over the age of 40, who were in the late 60s and 70s, who were so etched and set in their habits that they found it hard to come out of it. So that's why if you build an habit, then unfortunately, if you're not changing anytime soon and you're reaching your late years in life, it won't change. You'll be stuck with that. That's why you find, generally speaking, as well, the example I said, Sayyidina Usman and Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, two of the greatest human beings to walk the earth after the Nabuwa of Rasulullah, and also after the prophets, they were in the late 20s and late 30s when they became Muslim. So, there's a reason why many of the Mashaykh also said that if you're reaching 40 and you've reached that a figure, specific figure, and your lifestyle is such that you're still acting as though you're still in your 20s and you're not practicing or taking the deen seriously, then unfortunately there's only one way you're heading towards, which is Jahannam. It's a very blunt statement, but evidence would show that if you're in your later years, unfortunately your habits will not change. You fall into this comfort zone and you get stuck in that time warp, as they say, and you think that, yeah, everything's going smooth, I've done something all my life. And psychologically as well, this mindset settles in. So that's why you see Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, the biggest enemies of the deen. They were the older generations, not the younger ones. That's why they say, the famous hadith of Rasulullah, take five before five. One of them being, take your youth before you become old. So that essentially, because of these reasons I just mentioned. So inshallah, Azza wa Jal, it's a quick reminder, and you could say a quick thought more than reminder, that if we're if we're building our habits and if we're building our personalities, we need to consider if we're reaching in our later years that they will have an impact, huge impact for the remaining number of years we're here on this earth. Okay, like, share, and comment. Inshallah Azza wa Jal.